Hello, hello, hello! Welcome back to the Feel Good Factor. I'm Susmita Veganosaurus and I'm so glad you could join me here today. Yesterday at New Rule Studio, when our teacher Christina gave us the writing prompt, I thought, oh, that should be my word for 2026. Generosity. If I hadn't already picked my word, I'd pick this. It does go hand in hand with the one I've chosen, so I guess it could be a subword in the grand sweeping concept of mine. I got into this delightful word of the year shenanigans a few years ago thanks to my friend Sin. She lives halfway across the world in the rainy, lush state of Washington. Side note, why is the city of a certain name not in the state of its namesake? Instead, it has to take on initials, like a new kid in class. Hey, we already have a Washington, so we'll call you by your full name, Washington DC. The way American cities and states are named is so amusingly confusing. Someday I'll tell you about a time this guy I knew prepared an entire meal in Bloomington for a friend who was in town. When the guest was on their way and called for directions, they realized they were in Bloomington, Indiana, and the hot meal was waiting for them in Bloomington, Illinois. This was long before social media and Google Maps. Looks like I told you the whole story now. One long ass aside. Let me realign. Where was I? Oh yeah, my friend Cindy. We're jewelry making buddies from the ancient times of eBay groups. When I was on holiday in Seattle one time, I visited Portland and she drove up to meet me there. That was the only time we met in real life. But our souls are gently intertwined online by the virtue of a friendship formed in simpler times. Sin told me last week that her word of the year is whimsy. Such a delightful word, no? I love it. I nearly chose it as my word too. She wouldn't have minded. She's generous that way. But whimsy too can be a subword in the microclimate of the word I've chosen. My word came to me a few days ago as I lay back in a bathtub filled with sultry water and tulsi vetiver scented bubbles. What had brought me there was a genre of music that sounds like a choir of angels singing in harmony. It was mentioned in a book I'd been reading that morning in bed. The hotel's comforter and fluffy pillow, a nest around me. I cocooned myself in the goldfinch. Nothing can get me out of here, was a general feeling wafting through me, until the book described the music and I had to switch to Spotify immediately. Musical references in novels are irresistible to me. They often careen me off a well-written story down a rabbit hole of songs. As soon as the singing began, I knew I had to get into the bathtub. Bathroom and water acoustics are the ambience for this. So there I was, having moved from a gorgeously written novel in bed to ethereal music in the bath. The warmth, the scent, the complete relaxation of my every little muscle. Among the thoughts of well-being and gratitude that flitted in and out of my mind was the thought of my friend and her word of the year. That's when mine floated up, just like the soap bubbles around me, and popped like glitter. Luxuriate. That's my word of the year. Luxuriate in friendship, in flow, in slow time, in whimsy. Luxuriate in writing and reading and wandering and learning. Luxuriate in sumptuous meals and laughter. Luxuriate in the warmth and generosity of the divine. Luxuriate in giving and sharing and receiving with ease. Luxuriate in a deep sense of deservingness. I will luxuriate in all the magic that 2026 brings. What's your word of the year? You can have mine, I'm happy to share. Neural Studio is the awesomest writing membership program ever. They're offering a free week of access from 12th to 16th Jan 2026. That's next week. Sign up and try it out for yourself. Getting a whole week of free sessions is a gift. Don't miss out. This entire piece, I wrote it in one session of Neural Studio. So just go to the link in my show notes, click on it, and sign up for the free week of studio. See you on the inside. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Feel Good Factor. I'm Susmita Veganosaurus, and I'm looking forward to talking to you again very soon. Bye!